What's up, Lions Nation? It is the Soul Man and the one and only co-host extraordinaire, the Stat Man. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, man? I got a big old smile on my face, you know, going into New Orleans. Who dat? Who dat?
Just got their ass beat by Detroit. Who dat? Who dat? I don't know. I don't know if I can say ass beat because we'll talk about it. But at first I was like, whoa, here we come. And then I was like, whoa, whoa. And then I was like, whoa, here we go. And then we won. So I'm just going to say this. This person that commented, this comment was already in here before we even started the show. So this person has been just waiting for us to come on the air.
Hello, Mom. She's excited to watch us.
Thank you. Yeah, I am getting better slowly. Your hair looks great, Logan. Take your hat off. Take your hat off. Look at that. How did you get your arm to go in that angle?
How did I get my arm to go in like that?
That's weird. Victor in the house says, what's up, fellas? Hey, Victor, what's up? I seen that you were at that game. I bet it was a blast. Must have been fun to watch that live. Dane says, what's up, fellas? What's up, Dane?
He was able to watch it first person.
Yeah, he was there.
Right in person.
Candace in the house says, hello. Hello, Candace. Hopefully you're feeling better. Look like you're
hello.
Starting to look better anyway with your eyes. Victor says, I kept saying, who dat?
Hell yeah. That's what I would have been doing too. Aw, thanks, Mom.
All right, everybody. So we are currently still on that march of 500. We are sitting at 230 subscribers. So, Statman, we're getting ever so close to that halfway point. So we're getting there slowly but surely. So thank you to all the new subscribers. And please make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you have not. And if you have subscribed, share away. And I appreciate everybody that I see sharing our podcast all the time and the reels that I've been doing, things like that. We appreciate that. So shout out to you guys for all your help. Mike B in the house says, hey, what's up, Mike?
Man, Green Bay got a big old victory. Bet he's excited about that over Kansas City, too.
Yep, that was a Green Bay starting to I could see them getting over Minnesota for sure, though. I feel like they could do it. I feel like they could get by in Minnesota.
They're creeping up there, and I believe they're tied with Minnesota for second in the division right now.
Are they tied or are they one behind them?
I thought they're both 6-6.
Maybe you're right.
I could be wrong.
Says, yes, sir. Yeah, Mahomes. I don't know, man. We'll get off a little topic here, but the Chiefs and Mahomes, they don't look as strong as they did before. So Victor says there was 3 guys singing the fight every time we scored.
I seen how many Lions fans were there. Man, do we keep showing up or what on the road? I mean, our fans are there everywhere. Every stadium is going to be filled with blue and silver.
Dar says, I wish we wouldn't go away from the run game every time Ragnow goes down. Hi, Uncle Logan. Aubrey.
Hi, Aubrey.
Fight song, yeah, it was a sea of blue, Victor said.
Hell yeah.
I seen your video, Victor. You could tell there was tons of fans there. All right, so we're going to take a look at the player stats first. Jared Goff was 16 for 25, 213 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dave Montgomery, 18 carries, 56 yards, 1 TD. Gibbs had 8 carries, 60 yards, 0 TDs. Williams 1 carry for 19 yards and a touchdown, which I'm sure everybody knows what that play was. Receiving Sam Laporta, 9 receptions, 140 yards, 1 touchdown. St. Brown, 2 receptions, 49 yards, and a touchdown. We talked about this stat, man, before we came on the air, and we are both in agreement. But you look at these stats, they all look good. There's one that sticks out, though, and that has to be Sam Laporta, hands down. That guy was the player of the game for sure. What thoughts on that?
Oh, absolutely. And you can definitely tell he's starting to become Jared Goff's safety net, especially on 3rd down plays, 4th down plays. It looks like he's always targeting Laporta. He's definitely sure-handed. I'm telling you what, he's one of the best tight ends in the league, hands down right now.
Yeah, he's open. He's open he's open all the time. When he's not open, he's making those contested catches. He's turning out to be I think we could see that, though, from the start. We could see the potential that he was going to have, and it's really starting to show. What is he like? I read something today about him. He's like eighth on the list or something like that for tight ends. I can't remember now what it was. Why did that just go away like that? There we go. Sorry, I clicked on a button and the whole screen went away for a second. Laporta got the only game ball in the locker room, said Dar. It was well-deserved. Well-deserved.
Yeah, well-deserved.
I think Goff played much better. I think Goff played a lot better. I do agree with Dar that I think they went away from the run too quick again. I don't know why they do that. I think the biggest one of which we'll see here in just a second, we could talk about it. But how did you feel about Jared Goff's performance coming off of those 2 games where he had some turnover troubles? Do you think he's seen a lot better this game to you?
I think he definitely took care of the ball better. You definitely still see he's scared of that pressure. It seems like our offensive line is still having troubles in the pass protection there. That one Zach Bond, I think that was the first sack Penei Sewell allowed past him, was Zach Bond when he dipped underneath Penei Sewell there and just got Goff. I mean,
Sewell went down to the ground on that one too. He did. But I did like seeing Goff. He was moving. He was stepping up. I noticed that a lot in this game. He was stepping up in the pocket, like trying to make the plays. I think he did do better. Obviously, he did better without interceptions or fumbling the ball. Our offense comes out 7 minutes. I think it was 7 minutes, 21 points. Part of that had to do with the defense, but then it started trickling off. So let's take a look at the defensive stats. Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes are the leading tacklers with 9. Okwara and Irvin each had a sack, and Brian Branch had 1 interception. So we got to see Irvin come in and play. He comes in, gets a sack. He did have that penalty. What are your thoughts, Statman, on his debut with the Lions? How do you think he did overall?
Oh, Bruce Irvin, man, you can tell he's still got it in him at 36 years old. Doesn't look like he missed much of a step. And I tell you what, he's already warned the next teams that the Lions have to play. He said he's just built different. They better be ready.
We did see McNeil. He had something going on with his knee that I don't know if he ended up going out the rest of the game or not with that. He did go down a couple times and tried to play. There's a lot of stuff. We've seen some good things with the defense. A couple turnovers, I believe. But I still feel like there's something missing from this defense all of a sudden. It's just not there yet. How do you allow the Saints to get back in a game like they did? I still don't feel like we're getting the pressure that we were getting in the beginning of the year. Statman, what do you think is the major issue with the defense right now? What's going on with that D? What is it to you?
I think honestly what happened in that game, why we fell apart, is our offense just stopped putting the pressure on the Saints. when you're up like that, you got to keep going. You can't take 3 and outs real quick and then put your defense right back out on the field. I mean, we've talked about that before in games. You can't have quick series. You got to take time off the clock. Keep New Orleans off the field as far as offense. You got to keep scoring. You can't just settle. All right, we're up 21-0 and just be like, oh, we can just easy ride it the rest of the game. And that's what it seemed like was going on.
So you don't think, in your opinion, you don't think that? Did you think the defense played well in that game or improved from the last couple of weeks, or do you still see something going on with that defense right now?
I think the defense played as good as you can. I mean, they played well, getting the turnovers early in the game, getting our offense on the field. But I think when we have 3 and outs with the Saints, or we stop them to where they're forced to punt, we need to drive down the field, take some time off the clock. We can't afford to go out and then just do a quick 3 and out and then give the Saints the ball right back, especially when they drive down to midfield and they're actually pushing the ball. You can't put our defense that's tired out from a decent drive by the Saints where they're going to midfield and then put them back out there and expect them to all perform at their highest level and not have any rest.
Yeah, I think that does account for a lot of it. We did get some pressure this game, so that was good to see. I feel like our corners still need to get a little bit better with their coverage. The main thing is you got to think of the road ahead. If when we get to the playoffs, we're going to be competing against some high-level teams. We got to make sure our defense is on point for those games. So we need to catch up on these comments. Lowe's mom says, why is Vikings games so close together in the scheduling? They are pretty much. I think there's one, then a break, and then Vikings, Cowboys, Vikings, I think is how it ends the year, just like that.
I think they did it on purpose because they figured that the Vikings were going to be right there in contention for the NFC North. Kind of like what they did with Green Bay with us for a couple years in a row, where we had Green Bay at the last game of the schedule. It always came down to the last game. I think it's going to come down to that this year. Hopefully we can get enough of a lead on them, though, where we don't have to worry about that last game.
Yeah. Dar says, I still remember all the looks I got when I drafted Laporta in the 5th round of the fantasy draft. Yeah, you probably got some points from him yesterday.
You got that look for me because I wanted him.
Yeah, me too.
I was just hoping on taking him later.
I was this close. I should have took him when I had the chance, man. God. So my kid has been literally commenting. So I have to get to his comment here. Hey, buddy. Hey, Keegan. Love you, buddy. There's like 7 comments of my son.
What's up, Keegan?
Dane says the offense and defense don't complement each other. It's true.
That's kind of what I was going after. Like, when the offense gets the ball back and we get on the field, we can't afford 3 and outs and force our defense to go back out there and play good. They're tired out from a decent drive by the Saints. Like I was saying, that's the complimenting. You got to have
that. It wasn't like that in the beginning of the season. They were doing that. They were complimenting each other. But now that's kind of faded away. And I didn't think about it that way until you brought it up, but you do make a really good point there. The Saint fans were so hyped when they started coming back. I bet they were so happy. I bet they were.
Until they figured out Jameis Winston was going to be their quarterback.
Oh, dang.
Holy crap. Do you see those throws he was making? It's like, how the hell is he still a professional quarterback in this league?
Jacobs is the worst part of our defense, says Dar. I honestly think Sutton needs to step it up a little bit too. He made like one good pass defense, but I feel like a lot of times he's allowing a lot of catches to happen with a lot of space.
I think when Gardner Johnson comes back, or what did he call? What is he calling himself now? CD Deuce or something like that. When he comes back, that defense is going to be solid again. I guarantee you. That dude was a workhorse on the field.
I still think, though, I did see Hutchinson get moved around a little bit, but I still think they need to move him around more. I think they still need to try to do what Dar was talking about, maybe move him back, because he's not getting the pressure and he's not getting those sacks. But I think that he wants, he's better than that, but they just got to do something, move him around, change some stuff up. Game stats: first down, Lions had 18, the Saints had 23. Third down efficiency, Lions were 6 for 13, Saints were 6 for 12. Fourth downs, Lions 0 for 0, Saints 0-1. Total yards, Lions 347, Saints 362. Passing, the Lions had 205, the Saints 249. Rushing, the Lions had 142, the Saints had 113. Red zones, the Lions were 3 for 5, and the Saints were 4 for 4. Lions had 0 turnovers, Saints had 2. Penalties, the Lions were 6 for 45, Saints 6 for 50. Time possession, 27-50 for the Lions, and the Saints were 32-10. One of the game stats that I thought stood out to me was the fourth downs. Dan Campbell did not go for it once on fourth down that game. Not once. And he had opportunities to do a fake punt, and he didn't do it.
I think it falls on the early lead that we had. He didn't feel like it was necessary. Most of the games he's been doing fourth down, going for on fourth down is in close games, like where we're more tight-knit in the game.
You have to admit, though, when they line up the punt, does it cross your mind?
Oh, I get worried about it every time. I'm like, oh, man, please don't.
Just watching for somebody else to get the ball besides the punter every time he snaps it. Like, oh, here we go.
I don't know why they don't put in passing plays for Jack Fox. He actually has a decent arm.
Victor says, yeah, they were hollering, keep Hill in.
I would have been too, because we couldn't stop him.
No.
Hill on those QB draws, it was like, what the hell is going on? Every time, 6-7 yards. Every time he ran it.
Yeah, every time Carr went out, they're like, boo, every single time. Every time he went out. But he actually started playing decently. So I don't know, but Dar says we did them a favor. Yeah. Carr just came off that shoulder injury too, so I think he had a shoulder injury and something else, concussion, I think.
Well, everybody's looking at Carr as this savior for the Saints offense, and he's been quite the opposite.
Yep. Oh, then Winston comes in, and I don't know who he was throwing to half that game.
I think he was too busy trying to eat W's off his hands.
What?
You never seen that video of Winston?
No.
Where he's like this. Ah.
No, but now
you're gonna have to look it up now. You're gonna have to search it.
Because I had no idea what you were talking about right there at all.
You will laugh your ass off.
Victor says, when he got dropped, one of the fans said, we did them a favor. So Dar was right. Mike says, never been impressed with Carr. No.
I haven't really either. He's always put up numbers, He's always gotten the passing yards. But he seems to fall apart in crucial situations.
One thing that I did see before we got on the show was people are saying that there's a possibility that we could see the Rams in the playoffs. Is that something that's a real possibility?
I mean, they put a hurting on the Browns, and I thought the Browns were a pretty good team.
I'm just
but
saying,
they also started Joe Flacco, so that's probably the problem.
Could you imagine Stafford and the Rams in Detroit against the Lions? That'd be kind of a little, what do you call it? The word I'm looking for. Dar says we blitzed Winston a lot more than we did Carr because they knew he couldn't deliver or make a read in time. Yeah. It's possible for Rams, Dane says. Yeah, I seen that today, and I was like, is that a real thing? Like, is that I haven't been looking. I haven't checked lately, so.
Well, especially
Yeah,
with the Seahawks falling off. I mean, they've lost quite a few games lately.
Did the Broncos win or lose?
I want to say the who were they playing?
I can't remember, but because they started kind of turning it around a little bit too. Interesting to see all of a sudden some teams are starting to.
We play the Bears this week, correct? Or is it the Broncos?
Bears.
Bears,
Broncos,
and then we play the Broncos the following
the
week.
Broncos is the next week on Saturday at like 8:15 at night. Dane says, I think they are 6-6. Must be referring to either the Rams or the Broncos. Victor says they lost. Dar said they lost. Ton of 6-6 teams in the hunt for a spot. Yeah, I think the Packers are now one of those teams.
And the Vikings are sitting there too at 6-6.
The Texans did end up. That's right. The Texans did end up beating them. Now I remember.
Man, it sucks. Tank Dell went down. He got carted off the field. I got him on my fantasy team, on both fantasy teams.
I put in Noah Brown because he came back from an injury and he didn't do anything. He didn't even get a pass. Damn it.
I tell you what, CJ Stroud, a couple years from now, if not next year,
he was been doing good already. Put a couple more talented players around him. Him and Anthony Richardson, I think, is going to be really good too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he got hurt.
Telling you what, those teams that passed up on Stroud, though, are hating themselves right now. Yeah. Or didn't make a move to jump up and get him. He's the real deal.
So, real quick, I didn't make the standings. I didn't update it because I forgot. But Philly lost. San Francisco, I believe, is one above us right now. And then we're third. And I'm trying to think of who else. I'm trying to picture in my head who's in the hunt and kind of where the playoff picture is at right now.
Well, Cowboys right now are not above us because they wouldn't be division winners. Because the Eagles are winning in that division right now.
Atlanta is the other team right now. Philly, 49ers, Lions, Atlanta is how it's not the wild card, but
division leaders are always above everybody else. So
I know the Packers are in the hunt. The Vikings are in the hunt. The Cowboys moved to the wild card section. I believe they're in the wild card, and I can't think of any of the other ones. But it did kind of move around a little bit as far as some of the teams that are in the hunt and in the wild card spot. So who knows how it's going to end up being at the end of the year.
The Lions have been better on the road than they have been at home. So honestly, I really wouldn't mind being on the road all playoffs.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be awesome to have that top seed?
I think
I don't know. We're not that far back.
Where are we? I think we're 5-1 on the road and 4-2 at home.
I know that we seem to be able to, even if we get a little behind, we were still able to get back in it, come back and win it. You know what I mean? So
but could you imagine if we would have just taken care of business at home, our own home field, and won those two games that we lost? Green Bay being one of them, and then Seattle was the other one.
Yep. Seattle was early. I think Seattle game was pretty early in the season too.
Yeah, it was the second week.
Yeah, we shouldn't have lost that. See, Green Bay, that Green Bay game is like reverse what we did yesterday. They came out fast. and got a bunch of points on us, and we ended up losing to them. But we did that yesterday, came out fast, and the Saints almost came back, but we ended up holding them off. So it was kind of just the same thing, but we just flipped it.
But a team in the playoffs like the Niners or the Eagles, we allow that to happen.
That's what I've been saying. Like we can't do that against those teams. I think Dallas is going to be a good little preview, I think, because I think they're the better team that we're going to have to play the rest of the season. They're probably going to be our toughest opponent, I think, and it's going to be a good game. It's going to really put a test on them to see how they do against them.
The Vikings isn't going to be a cupcake team either, especially if they get JJ back.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't mind the 3 seed to play NFC South, is what Dar said. Nevermore, 4 and 5 seeds would play each other. Never mind, he meant. Dane says, Green Bay game made me sick. Yeah, it did.
Man, did they get lucky against the Chiefs, though? Those refs were not making any calls against Green Bay. He literally freaking he violated Marquez Valdez-Scantling in that game. That corner. Violated him. And they got away with it. Clear as day pass interference.
Yeah, well, they're talking about that, and they're talking about the Patrick Mahomes roughing the passer is the other one, the big one that they were talking about. So I don't know, because they kind of
where he went out of bounds, got drilled.
He was in bounds still. He was still in bounds when he got hit, and he just hit him with the shoulder. He barely even touched him. Come on. Hey, that was Patrick Mahomes' first game at Lambeau. So the refs had to show him what it's like to play in Lambeau. The refs had to show him.
I think the refs' eyes were just hurting so bad from the extreme cold. It was hard for them to see. That's what I'm going to say.
What is this thing? Get out of here.
I never liked the refs favoring one of the teams in the NFC North, though. If they're going to do it, they need to do it for the Lions.
Oh, look who it is. Perry says, "Who dat? They need to clear house. We have a lot of weapons, and they can't do a thing. It's insanely frustrating. Fire the offensive coordinator and head coach."
I don't understand why they didn't keep Hill in. Hill at quarterback was producing more yards than Carr was at quarterback. You'd think being an offensive coordinator and head coach, you'd say, all right, this is working. We're not going to stop doing it.
But who do they pay more?
It doesn't matter to me. Taysom Hill's got a nice contract too, though.
They're not going to sit him on the bench. He's supposed to be their starting quarterback, and they're paying him tons of money. They're going to play him. It's not
trade
like
bait.
What?
Trade bait.
Yeah.
Trade him to some other team that's ballsy enough to take him.
He's gonna be a bench warmer. Is what's gonna happen to him. I think it would have been it could have been a different game if they would have kept Hill in there, because I know he can throw the ball too, and he was running on us. So yeah, I don't get those calls either. But sorry, Perry, you lost. Suck it up, Buttercup. Move on. We wanted to get you on the show, Perry, but you just didn't show up for some reason. You were scared. Were you too embarrassed? I know how it is.
We didn't do the pregame show.
No, this one. This show.
So you're supposed to bring the opposing team's fans on the pregame.
I know. I was sick, Logan. Perry says 9-3 Lions, though. Congratulations to the Lions organization. For real, y'all are not a pushover team anymore, and I'm happy.
Appreciate that.
Everything that I just said, I take it all back.
How many years I predicted a winning Lions team, and they've always failed me.
every year until now. We just keep saying at the beginning of every year because we know eventually it's going to happen. And then when it does, we're like, yeah, we said it.
We're guaranteed a winning season regardless how the rest of the season goes.
Well, buddy, it's that time of day.
Yes, sir.
It's that mark. Now, you're not going to sing, are you? I don't know. We're not going into the game, so we
It's the
can't.
pre-games only, and obviously we didn't have a pre-game show, and I'm glad I didn't win this time for a Lions loss.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. We can't put it on you this time. The curse has been lifted. The curse is gone. Logan didn't sing, and we still won.
Yes, sir.
Real quick,
All right,
Perry
everyone.
says so many years, Logan, and Dane says they failed every fan. I think we are addicted to the failure. That's it.
Well, we'll end on that. I appreciate everybody joining in and commenting, and get out there and share our podcast. Let everybody know about us and us here at We Are Lions Nation. We're happy to have you all. One pride.